Everybody, this is Paul.
Hey, one guy.
One guy.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Paul, was it?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sitcoms that should never be remade.
Michael, I can't believe you came. That's what she said.
For this list, we're looking at the most legendary situation comedies that need not ever be touched again. Certain plot points will be discussed, so a spoiler alert is in effect. Which of these series do you think would have the worst reboot? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, 30 Rock. As a TV show that satirizes the absurdity of TV shows, a 30 Rock reboot would be beyond ironic. Created by Tina Fey as a reflection of her own experiences on Saturday Night Live, the series was perfectly written and stayed consistently hilarious throughout its 7-season run.
I'm the new vice president of East Coast television and microwave oven programming.
That sounds like you program microwave ovens.
I like you.
If you ask us, the only spin-offs 30 Rock should get are the fictional shows within the show itself.
I know the photo shoot for Randy's dog's funeral is the wrong place to tell you this, but I'm going to Africa.
It's my way till payday.
Fun fact, originally, a follow-up series was written for Alec Baldwin's character Jack Donaghy as mayor of New York, but it fell through. While it didn't become a spin-off, the concept was revamped to become the show Mr. Mayor.
Thank you for telling me that.
Is that all you're gonna say?
Thank you for telling me that.
Number 9, I Dream of Jeannie. Some classics are better left in the past.
I must have gone further into orbit than I thought.
This 60s sitcom is certainly dated, as the premise follows an astronaut, Tony Nelson, that rescues a genie in a bottle. Jeannie.
I wish you to vanish. Where'd I go wrong?
Thou hast set me free. That means that I am free to please thee, and I am going to please thee very much.
She then helps him with everyday problems using her magic. The two fall in love as the series progresses, and they later marry. While the show was undoubtedly seen as charming in its day, it certainly wouldn't resonate with a modern audience unless it was heavily reworked. If anyone's really itching for more I Dream of Jeannie, there's always reruns.
Jeannie!
You are back. What would you like for Sunday morning breakfast, Master?
Number 8, Friends.
I just want to be married again.
And I just won $1 million.
They'll be there for you. They just don't need to come back. Friends is one of the most popular sitcoms of all time and portrays 6, friends living their lives in Manhattan.
Cut.
Hey! Welcome to the real world. It sucks. You're gonna love it.
Part of what makes the show great is the fact that it is a time capsule of the 90s and early 2000s, and trying to change that would be a disservice. Joey's short-lived spin-off speaks for itself.
Were you on Days of Our Lives?
It took you a minute, but you recognized me, huh? I'm wearing my Days of Our Lives shirt, aren't I?
While the cast recently came together for a reunion special, it didn't attempt to update the show in any way.
This will be the last time that we're ever asked about the show as a group, that we will do this. We're not gonna do this again in 15 more years.
That is definitely for the best. Number 7, Happy Days. Let's take a trip back to the 50s. Happy Days is a true timepiece and has inspired tons of other classic shows of the late Gary Marshalls.
He wants you to meet him in the John.
Hey, I ain't inviting the whole joint, huh? Somebody in there wants you to talk to, right?
Hey, Fonzo was drinking there.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna hurt my comb any.
Without him around, there's no way anyone can do justice to his iconic series. Another reboot would have to totally change the concept of the original show, and wouldn't have the same nostalgia that it did in the 70s and 80s.
Rich, is that you?
Oh, golly, oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's me. Good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Plus, the spin-offs that already exist, like Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, and Joni Loves Chachi, to name a few, are great as they are.
What kind of beads are these?
Oh, they're not beads, and I know you love it because there's a whole collection up in the attic. They're flies. They can't fly now, silly, they're dead.
Not to mention, Henry Winkler is probably pretty Fonzied out at this point in his career.
And they beat sweethearts. Now look, I understand you want an adult evening. Pick any other night. I'll give it a pad, I'll give it a champagne, I will supply the adult.
Number 6, The Office. This one would be hard to pull off. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Michael, please.
There he is.
Please.
Come on. You would have done the same. You just didn't think of it first.
One of the most beloved sitcoms of the 2000s, The Office followed the employees at the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. It has cemented its legacy with incredible writing and performances. Steve Carell's portrayal of Michael Scott is notably second to none.
I mean, what kind of quality of life do we have there?
I would want to live with no legs.
How about no arms? No arms or legs is basically how you exist right now, Kevin. You don't do anything.
The series finale does a great job of tying up any loose ends for all the characters, even Michael, who left in season 7. So there's no need to go back and rehash the past. Besides, The Office is already a remake of the UK series of the same name.
Comedy is a place where the mind goes to tickle itself. That's what she said.
Number 5, Cheers. Who could ever try to recast Sam and Diane? The ultimate will they or won't they couple.
Maybe this is my lucky day, huh?
You disgust me. I hate you.
Are you as turned on as I am?
More.
Cheers had a cast of legends such as Ted Danson, Shelley Long, and Rhea Perlman, and it would be tragic to see anyone else try to fill their shoes for a reboot.
I love to see a woman who isn't afraid to take her luggage out for a drink.
Carla, she doesn't want to be disturbed.
Oh, well, tell her Nibs I'm sorry.
And with such an extensive original run, it's hard to imagine there would be much left to say about their charming Boston bar. And let's not forget, Cheers is already the source material for one of the greatest spin-off series of all time, Frasier.
6 months ago, I was living in Boston. My wife had left me, which was very painful. Then she came back to me, which was excruciating.
Number 4, All in the Family. Arguably one of the best sitcoms ever, Norman Lear's classic All in the Family was a centerpiece of the American home for years.
There's nothing to look forward to.
Oh, Gloria, you got your whole life ahead of you, and you got mine.
Oh, gee, she's feeling bad enough. Don't make it worse.
The on-screen arguments between conservative Archie Bunker and liberal son-in-law Mike, or Meathead, created discourse through TV like never before.
You got some opinion of mankind. I ain't knocking mankind, but people is something else. Archie, don't you see if everybody felt the way you do? Everybody does. I don't. That's 'cause you're a meathead.
While the show paved the way for serious topics to be scrutinized in an accessible way, any attempt to bring this format into a modern household would feel forced. Besides, now more than ever, comedy and drama series alike are doing similar work to confront societal issues and present them to broad audiences in creative ways.
The government expects you to do that. That's right. Certain people who are basically honest do certain dishonest things because everybody does it, and then pretty soon they wind up like you, not trusting anybody.
Number 3, Seinfeld. What's the deal with a Seinfeld reboot? We mean, it's already the show about nothing.
Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservations.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do.
Would the next one have to be about something? Don't be ridiculous. Putting aside the fact that Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld likely have no desire to restart the series, it would be impossible to recapture what made the show so incredible in the first place.
Come on, we'll divide it up 3 ways.
All right. 7, 7, 6. I'm not gonna eat that much.
I'm counting your shrimps.
The outstanding writing team and perfect chemistry of the cast is once-in-a-lifetime stuff. Seriously, try to imagine anyone besides Jason Alexander playing George Costanza. We can't either.
And he's parking cars for a living. All right, shut up! Shut up! I hear you! I'm coming down! These pretzels are making me thirsty!
Number 2, MASH. Although this show was a half-hour comedy, it was a serious reflection on the harsh realities of war.
You were the friends of my youth, my comrades through thick and thin, and everything in between. I drink to your memories.
The series followed characters in the United States Army Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. It very carefully struck a balance between the darker setting and subject matter and lighthearted tone, which is not something that could easily be replicated.
Has somebody been operating on a pig in here?
What a dumbbell question.
Trap, you smelling? Unless I'm mistaken, we've interrupted a luau-ectomy.
A modern rendition of MASH would either need to adapt to the current climate of the world or revisit past events. But the fact of the matter is that neither of those options would be as effective or resonate the way the original did.
Only order you've given in 2 days is for a double scotch.
All part of my master plan. Leadership by lack of example. I command by doing nothing.
I know the feeling. 2nd grade, I was hall monitor in a one-room schoolhouse.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Schitt's Creek. Ew, David. It's a little too soon to revive this hilarious series.
This is your recipe. You fold in the cheese then.
Don't you dare.
You fold it in.
David! Oh, good. Now I see bubbles. David! What does burning smell like?
The Mary Tyler Moore Show. A classic series, but Mary's independence isn't as groundbreaking as it was in the 70s.
I think all I can afford is associate producer.
You can start tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's just wonderful. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Married with Children. It already had a great run as one of the longest-running sitcoms ever.
Trying to succeed? It's all for nothing. All those things are designed to attract. Why should I be attractive? I'm married with children.
Sanford and Son. The show that made Red Fox a star wouldn't be half as good without him.
You can have a little pork and beans now and a little zucchini later, or a little zucchini now and a little pork and beans later. Or either you could have a little pork and beans and a little zucchini now, or a little zucchini and a little pork and beans later.
Parks and Recreation. A reboot would wreck the show's perfect finale.
So I thank those people who've walked with me, and I thank you for this honor. Now, go find your team and get to work.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. I Love Lucy.
Are you tired, run down, listless? Do you poop out at parties? Are you unpopular? The answer to all your problems is in this little bottle.
How could you have I Love Lucy without Lucille Ball? The reach and influence of this show cannot be overstated. It introduced the scripted multi-camera sitcom and invented the standard of the ensemble cast. And of course, title character Lucy is a comedic powerhouse for the ages.
Every month, every single month, your bank account is overdrawn. Now, what is the reason?
You don't give me enough money?
She, alongside her friends and husband, got into some truly wild situations. The classic bits from the show are timeless. There's absolutely no reason to remake them. Even if a network were to try, any attempt would immediately be held to an impossibly high standard, dooming it to fail. Everyone should just rewatch I Love Lucy.
This is a sensational breakfast. My gosh, but you're a good cook.
Who was that on the phone?
Was the drugstore. You left your hat down there when you picked up these 2 breakfast orders.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.